Jim was just, he was a lovable man. Everyone around the town loved Jim.
He was a very good father, very loving father, very understanding.
He treated us like he wanted to be treated himself, so he was always kind and gentle.
So he was always teaching us little lessons or telling us a little story.
Jim's reputation was manifold. I think first and foremost, people thought he was a good bloke, a really nice gentleman.
He was home every night at 7 o'clock on the dot.
I really think that he used to get home maybe 10 to 7 and just wait outside until 7 o'clock, then he'd walk in the door, because he walked in exactly 7 o'clock.
Oh, Nance, have you heard this one? And then you'd hear her cackling away,
She'd
laughing her head off.
She'd cackle up.
And they're always different ones. He always had a different joke.
Dad had a fantastic palate, really fantastic palate. Back 30 years ago when I was a winemaker, he would come in to my office every night at 5 o'clock on the dot. I'd get him to look at things. He'd go, okay, I said, I'm not quite sure of this wine. He said, let me think about it.
He was actually, a deep thinker and an innovator, and also was able to show leadership. He engaged with the community when he was at Clairvale, advising them what they should do to protect their farming interests for the future.
He helped a lot of grape growers in Clare when he had in the co-op with the co-op and winemakers, and he brought in grape varieties into Clare that no one wanted, and he did it so much.
He set up a superannuation scheme in the 60s for the employees, knowing that there wasn't much safety net for them when they finished their working career. So that was his nature, he looked after people.
Jim was great, but Nance was behind him all the time.
Mum had a fantastic memory for people's names, their children's names, grandchildren's names.
Day after day, she'd be there. I think I must have been a baby at the start of that, and she would just put me in the cot and go up, hand label wines, serve any guests.
Grandpa made the wines, but Granny sold it, and I actually learned a lot from Granny about selling wine and working in cellar.
The Jim Barry Wine Company would not be what it is today if it wasn't for our mother.
And one of Dad's friends, his name was Tudor Tilbrook, who owns half of the Main Street of Clare. And he came up to me at the post office one day and he said, your father must be very proud of you and what you've done and what you've created. And I said, oh, thank you.
He'd be very proud. He'd be very proud of the next generation coming through.
There's a lot of what we do today in the winery that is, from Jim's days.
And how they've taken the same philosophy that he had, and they're continuing the same philosophy and trying to improve on it every day.
I think Grandpa would be really impressed with what we're doing today, because it's a continuation of his vision.
Not a revolution, just evolution, little steps moving forward all the time.
Being third generation, you really want to have an input and a contribution to the business, and hopefully then we can leave it to the fourth generation.
We did visit the Bentleys on the day of his birthday and had a meal, didn't we? And a beer in the front bar, a local pub where he drank.
That's where he had his first beer, at the Bentleys Hotel when he came to Clare by train in 1947. So when he turned 100, the family went back there and we had a beer at the same pub. But here's the dad, his 100 years
Yes, 100 years.
anniversary. Armata Dad.
Happy birthday, Dad.